And where are we in these uncertain times? Well, we're keeping our head above the water. We are not certain about the future, but we're managing to survive. But life is pretty tough. Trading is difficult. We've perhaps lost some orders, some business. Our cash reserves may be being used up, and we are wondering when or will things improve. Um, as we go on, cash becomes even more critical, but we still manage to keep our head just above the water until we eventually will run out of time and we reach that point of no return and we actually submerge, which is not where we want to be. So uncertain times, can we plan for them? Can we predict the future? Well, of course, I don't believe that we can. When we're planning for the future of our business, we make certain assumptions. For example, most companies that I work with plan with a high degree of certainty that the plan can be met, can be achieved. Sometimes they will add in sensitivities regarding sales and costs, etc. They may even consider some risk analysis for a systems failure, fire, server breakdown, etc. However, we would not normally plan or expect something like a pandemic or other major disaster. And a major disaster may not be an international thing, it may be something regional or local or something that's just affected your business that was unexpected. So nevertheless, planning with certainty can be very, very risky. So although we cannot plan for every adverse event, we have to expect the unexpected. And the trick is not to have a plan, but to have the resources, the skills, the management, and the ability to actually fight our way out of an unpleasant and uncertain situation. Leadership. To me, in my experience and the various companies I've worked with, I see two main streams, main types of business leaders. There are the administrators. These are people that are very good at maintaining status quo and complying with all that is necessary to run a business and do it very, very well. And there are many businesses out there, hundreds of thousands of businesses that are successful, profitable, and will continue to grow and achieve their objectives, run by people that basically administrate that business. Leaders are slightly different. Leaders, in my view, tend to be entrepreneurial. They're the ones that will want to make changes, will want to grow, and will want to lead the way out of a situation. We'll be finding solutions to find a way out of a difficult trading situation. Right, I believe there are too many ingredients for a successful leadership. When I was a young man, I always wanted to be a manager. That was my dream. And I worked at a very large international company, an American-based company that had operations in Europe and in the UK. And I remember going to my boss once, one of my bosses, and said to him, what qualification, what quality do I need to be a manager? And he said, it's just one thing, Harry, just one thing, confidence. And what he meant was confidence in myself, personal confidence. And he was right, but it's more than that. It's more than confidence in yourself. It is confidence in your ability. It's confidence in your plans, your ideas, your thoughts, the way you do things. It's confidence in your relationship with your peers, with the people that work for you. And it's confidence in your team as well. So you build confidence in them and they will look to you for that confidence. That's what they expect. I was running a company recently, 2 or 3 years ago, that was in severe trouble. It was a turnaround, which was done successfully. And every day people would come to me and say, Harry, are we really going to get ourselves out of the situation? Is it going to work out okay? Well, you know, there's only 3 answers to that question. No, I don't know, or yes. Well, I couldn't very well say no, because then that's questioning why I'm there in the first place. And to say I don't know isn't very conducive to good leadership. It's not what people expect. So the leader doesn't know whether we're going to succeed or not. So the answer is going to be yes, but a qualified yes. It's going to be yes, we will, providing these certain things, objectives are met, these tasks are carried out, and providing you, who have asked the question, engage with me and help to achieve those objectives. So that is what confidence is all about, in my view. The second quality, I believe, the second ingredient for successful leadership is one of the most difficult ones, and that is the one of making decisions. And that is one thing that people expect from a business leader. When I was at the same company, every day people would also come in and say to me, ask me to make decisions about what I considered to be fairly minor things, day-to-day operational things. And I'm not a detailed guy. But nevertheless, it asked me these questions. And the reason for that was because the previous management managed by fear. So people were frightened of actually making decisions. The company had been micromanaged, which meant that all the decision making went back to the top. So the idea was, ask the boss, if he gets it wrong, that's fine, nobody's to blame. So they're frightened of doing that. And the other way around that was to empower them. So making decisions is not just simply say yes or no if somebody asks a question. And worst of all, it is not saying, leave it with me. That is the worst thing to say. When I worked at KPMG, I remember working with a client in Birmingham, and I had some issues with the client. I was struggling as to find a solution to a particular issue. And I went to my boss, one of the partners, and told him this. And he sat down with me and he said, right, well, let's discuss it. And what he did, he facilitated us going through the various pros and cons, the various options, making sure that I reread my notes, reconsidered everything. And together, a decision was made. And that is what good leaders do. They make decisions by consultation, by working with people to arrive at a decision. They don't leave it on the shelf.